Hello friends, welcome back. So as you can see by the title, we're not doing anything intensive purely because I'm actually getting over flu and I haven't worked out in a few days because I am still recovering. So what we're going to do today, we're going to foam roll. Now, if you haven't used this guys today, don't worry, I'm going to teach you. The foam rollers, I want you to get nice and basic one. Make sure that it's not too cushiony, but also you want to make sure that it's not too hard. There's the ones that you can get spiky ones. Don't worry about that. Sometimes that can be super uncomfortable. And yes, you can get long ones. I like the shorter one because it gives me a better control going deeper into the tissue. But if you're finding that is longer one is a little bit better for you, then just go for it. Like as long as we roll. Before we begin, I want you to understand first the whole point of rolling. Yes, it is muscle recovery, but what we're actually trying to roll is our fascia. A fascia is a clear film that covers your muscle and your bones, kind of like a chicken breast, and then that clear film, or if you're a vegan, I want you to imagine an orange, and you have that clear film over an orange. So that's what fascia is. When fascia slides nicely, when it is damaged due to exercise, overuse, dehydration, creates a knot. So that knot is that fascia being stuck. So what we're trying to do is go in with the foam roller and get those knots out so the fascia can slide nicely again. It is 80% water, so please make sure that you hydrate during and especially after your foam rolling session. If you are rolling before your workout, you want to pick up the pace a little bit. So bring some blood flow and have a nice good stretch. If you are foam rolling after the workout, that's more bringing your parasympathetic system down, making sure that your nervous system is going into recovering phase. So we want to slow down and use our breath as we roll. So we're going to go average for this one. It's exactly the same rolling technique, exactly the same rolling areas, but the pace determines whether you're doing a pre-workout roll or post-workout roll. Now, I would recommend do this every time you're working out. I get my clients to use these rollers. I literally have a whole bunch of them. They come in, they roll, they stretch, and they're good to go. And while we get into the dynamic stretches, and then at the end of the session, we do our static stretches, we get the roller again, and they get to roll before they go. And you feel amazing after rolling, and it's free. So you don't have to wait for a massage therapist to get in there. I'm not saying that don't, because I do love my massages. So I've been blabbing for 3 minutes. So if you still with me, let's get going. I'm going to show you the basic rolling technique that I like to use of the areas that we get tight very often. I will get future videos out where we're split rolling lower body and upper body. But today we're just going to do the basics that I get my clients to do before our workouts. Now, if you have plantar fasciitis, then rolling is absolutely amazing, rolling with the ball. Now, we're just going to start off with the calves. Imagine we're in the group environment and all we have is a foam roller at this point. So usually what we'll do, we'll come through, we grab a roller, and then we get down on the floor. Now, you want to make sure you pay attention to your wrist and your shoulders as you're doing your rolling. You don't want to create extra tension on areas that are not being rolled. So what we're going to do first, I like to roll my calves up and down, up and down. So sometimes if I want to go deeper, I can lift my bum off the floor and roll all the way up to your knee. Then you want to make sure you don't roll onto your joints. I personally just keep drilling to everybody not to roll on the joints. Then you want to take about 10 centimeters away from your ankle. We're going to get at the bottom of the calf. Relax your leg as much as you can. We're just going to rock it side to side. Because we're going to do this before the workout, for example, we're going to go nice and fast. And you want the roller to kind of travel up slowly right to the top of your calf. If you are doing this at the end of your workout, we're rolling nice and slow and doing our deep breathing. We're going to go on the big fat part on our calf right in the middle. We're going to rock up and down. We'll rock side to side, get in there. I like to do little circles one way, circles the other way, and kind of get that going. Try not to tense up your foot because then the calf tenses up and it can be quite uncomfortable. Ooh, loud. All right, so then after that, I like to go on my other calf. I like to prop myself with the other leg so I'm not putting all the weight and all the pressure on my wrist. And I like to roll up and down. If you're finding that's too uncomfortable, you don't have to do it. Do the bottom part first, and then you go up to the top. It's so funny. It's such great pleasure seeing people rolling for the first time, and they're like, oh, ah, and it's like it gets better as you get along, but you need to make sure you stay consistent with it. All right, we're gonna rock side to side, so taking it from the bottom to the middle and up to the top of the calf. Rock, 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 rock. Beautiful. And once we've done that, we're gonna get to the middle part, nice fatty part of the calf. Nice work. Now from there, we're gonna go into hamstrings. So go just above the knee, and we're gonna go up to the butt cheek and back down. Hamstring is a really big and deep muscle. So sometimes when we're rolling hamstrings, we don't really feel much, but I still like to get in there. Once I've done one, I'm gonna go to the other. So these are nice and quick and basic. That's what I get my clients to do, 5 to 10 minutes before we do our workout. Perfect. Now butt cheeks, my favorite part. I love rolling out the butt cheeks because you actually feel the tension. So what I want you to do, instead of just sitting dead straight on the foam roller, I want you to actually tilt your body weight at 45 degrees. So I'm actually going to face you to the middle so you can see what I'm talking about. We're not rolling our butt middle. We're rolling the butt cheek. So what I want you to do is actually tilt over onto the butt cheek. So see how my hips are tilted at about 45 degrees? Yep. So we're going to tilt with support of your hand, leaning over. The butt cheek that we're not rolling, bend your knee for support. And then we're going to roll all the way down, down, down. Well, you rolling down, the foam roller is going to come up. And you want to bring it all the way up to the top of your hip, right next to the tailbone. Not on the tailbone though, so make sure you're not rolling on your bone. And then you want to slowly roll all the way under your, over and under your sit bone. Beautiful. And then take it all the way across your glute, so your butt cheek, all the way up to the top. You want to give it it stings at the top because you know that those are the areas that get quite tight and what gives you low back pains. You want to go over your sit bones and go right into that attachment where your hamstring attaches to your glute, right under your butt cheek curve. You can get over. So before the workout, we're rolling up and down nice and fast. Again, bringing that blood flow. Also, you don't spend as long on your wrists, so less pressure. Oh, I love that. All right, we're going to switch. All you got to do is tilt over to the other butt cheek. You know, roll all the way to the top or all the way to the bottom. So I want you to play around with positioning yourself where you feel most comfortable. All the way to the top, all the way up and over your sit bone to the bottom. And then, like I said, I'll make a video where we go in depth. I love rolling my lower body and through my upper back. So I'll give you little tips and tricks, and we're actually going to use the ball and roll through the ball as well. Bend over and back, down. Beautiful. Now from there, I like to go on my back. Never put roller on your lower back. I always drill to my clients, don't do it. I know it feels nice, but don't do it. We're gonna start off from the bra strap, so right under our shoulder blades. You're gonna kind of eye it to where you think your roller will end up, and then you're very slowly lowering down. So right under your shoulder blades, hands behind your head, bring your feet nice and close under your knees. We're gonna lift our bum, and we're gonna roll all the way up to our neck, and I'm rolling all the way down to your shoulder blade, middle back, all the way up to the top, all the way down, nice and supported. Now don't rush with this one because we're working through the spine. You don't want to put too much pressure on the spine. And some people feel very, very, very tight and uncomfortable. And those people are usually the ones that don't have very good flexion and rotation in the spine. So you need to make sure that we loosen up all those tight muscles in the upper back so we can have the best mobility and the best workout. All right, we're gonna stop at our middle back. We're gonna drop our butt down, and then we're gonna drop our head back and release the arms. Now with the arms, we can move up and down if you like. Now if you're finding that you're quite restricted and you need to stay here, you can always have a pillow under your head so you can prop it down so you can actually relax into the stretch. I personally find this is okay, and I love it. It opens up my chest, opens up my belly, and gives my shoulders a nice chance to kind of let go and relax. Beautiful. When you come up, make sure you don't come straight up. You want to make sure you put your hands behind your head, tuck in your chin, and then very slowly roll yourself back up to the top. From there, I like to go straight into a front fold. So for the hamstrings, and you want to, instead of just dropping yourself really low, I like to curve my back. If I want to stretch a little bit more into the tailbone, curl the back, tuck in your chin, and just rock side to side. If I want to get in a little bit deeper into the hamstrings, that's why I straighten my spine slightly and then lean over for that hamstring stretch. Beautiful. From there, I'm going to grab my roller and I'm going to flip over to the front, going on your knees. We're going to place the roller just above the kneecap, so not going on the knee, just above the kneecap, and we're supporting ourselves on the opposite knee, taking it out so we can drop the hips down, and then we're going to roll all the way down to the hip and then all the way up to the knee. And then as we're doing that, I want you to actually turn your knee in and out, turn your foot in and out so we can get on the inside of the quad and then outside in the middle. Oh my gosh, I hate rolling quads, y'all. I hate it. Oh, it's so tight. Once we've done that a few times, I like to switch. Yes, we can do abductors, but remember this is a very quick rolling session where we don't actually roll too much. So see how I take my knee out and to the side, so then I can navigate how much weight I put on as well. If you want more, you can go on your elbows. That can be a little bit more intense. Back to the top and down. Good. Don't forget to turn that foot in and out. Beautiful. Once we've done that, I like to go into child's pose with the foam roller. So take your knees out, keep your butt down, and rolling all the way down so I can drop my chest down and have that nice curve in my lower back. Arms nice and long. I move side to side. That gives my triceps, my chest, my shoulders nice, good stretch. Reach, reach, reach. Beautiful. Now very slowly curl your toes. Bring your bum up, wiggle side to side, and then very slowly lifting up one vertebrae at a time. Head comes up last, and then we're ready to roll. We're ready to work. That's my basic stretching. That's my basic rolling technique that I use with my clients before and after the rolling session. Rolling is going to help so many of your problems, your flexibility, your mobility, and your joint aches and pains. Most of those things happen, obviously, if you didn't have injuries or surgeries, but sometimes those things happen because of really tight muscles that pulling on your ligaments and really kind of pulling into that joint. So we want to make sure that we prioritize our recovery as much as we prioritize our workout, if not more, okay? Remember, your recovery is everything. Your recovery is your stretching, your rolling, your hydration, your sleep, and your food, and what's going on in your head, right? You work out for 1 hour, then the rest of the 23 hours of the day is your recovery hours. So use them wisely, use them correctly, to your best advantage, quality over quantity. Thanks for joining me again, and I hope you have an amazing day. And watch out for that video where I actually break down rolling and stretching for the body parts so we can get a little bit deeper into the understanding of our body, I guess. I love rolling. I think it's an amazing source of recovery. All right. Thanks again, and I shall chat to you next time. Peace.